I got loyalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, no ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this, is born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, wish out you a new weapon.
All right, so hey y'all, it's your girl Christen here, and I am back today with another video. Today's video is going to be just a little bit different, but before we get into all of that, let me rewind and say welcome, welcome, welcome. If you guys are new here, welcome to the family, and if you are returning, you already know what's up. What's poppin', fam? What's up, cuz? But nah, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to our last or previous videos. Again, this video is going to be just a little bit different. It is just me here today. I do want to reiterate the direction of this channel. So I came up with the idea of this channel at the beginning of the year. I wanted just an outlet for me and my sister because we are both in the beauty industry. Again, I am a licensed esthetician and she is a licensed cosmetologist. So I figured, why not create a lane for just us to showcase, you know, our talent, our passion, all of that. So that is one of the reasons why I did this channel. The other side of that was for us to go on this healing journey together. We are in the business of breaking generational cycles, trauma, all of that. I felt like it would have been dope for us to, you know, do both, have the beauty side and, you know, the healing side as well. So there will be videos of us together. Some videos might just be me, and then some videos might just be her doing her thing. So it'll be, you know, a mix of all of that. Okay. I did want to make that clear. The first couple of videos that we've put out so far have been primarily just the Q&A, you know, get to know us type videos, just to kind of set the vibe for our channel so that y'all can get to know us just a little bit better before we dive into the real stuff. All right. But yeah, again, this video is just me. This video is actually going to be of me interlocking my baby girl's hair. So we both have micro locks, and yeah, I am not the sister that does hair. That is all Carmen, you know, but I made the first attempt at interlocking her hair over the summer, this past summer. It was during a transitional period in my life. I had just graduated school. I was in between jobs trying to, you know, start my career in the aesthetics industry. I was coming across dead end after dead end. So my husband was the only one working, bringing in any sort of income. And so I had to get real creative in terms of ways to cut back on expenses. And one of those ways was me learning how to do her hair by myself. We do have a loctician in our area that does both me and her hair, but again, me just trying to kind of help the situation and cut back on some expenses, I made an attempt to do her hair back over the summer, and it actually came out really good, y'all. Like, back in June was the first time that I ever made an attempt to retighten her hair, and y'all, it came out so fire, so fire. And I'm talking about, before I even did that, I was on YouTube University. Y'all, YouTube has everything. I was on YouTube researching how to interlock her hair. I was hitting Carmen up, like, girl, how you do this? Like, can you give me some pointers? I was irritating my sister, trying to ask her how to do her hair and everything. And then I finally just said, you know what, I'm just gonna dive in. I'm gonna try it. Did it, and again, it came out so fire. She was in a wedding like the week after I did her hair. I styled it and everything, and y'all, I surprised myself. And I will insert, you know, maybe a few pictures of how that came out. I'll insert maybe a few clips or pictures of that here. But it was during that time that I actually just kind of stepped out and did that. Because I'm not going to lie to you guys, over the summer, like I said, I was in a slump. I had just graduated school. I wasn't working. I was in a slump. I was in a period of uncertainty and doubt. I was second guessing just everything. Like nothing was going as planned. And yeah, I was really in a slump. But when I did that, I feel like it was during that time that I started to believe in me. Yeah, the sky was, it was during that time that I saw in my head, you know, the sky is really the limit. I can do anything that I put, you know, my mind to, for real. And you can too. So yeah, this video is just going to be of me interlocking her hair, okay, as well as me talking to you guys and just being transparent with you guys on how my year has been. Like I said, it has been just a year of transitions. And so I felt led to kind of talk on this, and I'm going to speak on it. So yeah, just sit back, tune in. If you want to watch me interlock her hair, feel free to do so. Or if you want to just prop your phone up and just listen to the conversation, listen to me chat it up and just keep it real, then you can do that as well. It's up to you. But yeah, with that being said, let's hop into the video. Hold up. Before we hop into the video, if you guys, again, if you could give a thumbs up, like it up for me, please. That would be very much so helpful, but only do so if you like the content. Nobody's forcing you. Please don't feel like we're forcing you. But yeah, please give us a like, comment down below. Feel free to engage with us. We want to talk back with you guys. We want to, you know, hear from you guys as well. So feel free to comment down below, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep up with whenever we drop our new videos. Okay. And disclaimer, not too much on my nails. Okay. I've been trying to get these bad boys off for the past couple of weeks. Okay. Whatever glue my tech used, it was for sure gluing, because these things are not wanting to come off. So not too much on my nails, guys. Like, all right. But nah, like for real. Now we can hop into the video. First and foremost, let me just really briefly explain a little bit about the hair part. So yeah, so again, we do have micro locks, and we get our locks retightened between every 6 to 8 weeks typically. Okay, so because we have micro locks, our loctician normally does a 4-point rotation on our hair, and that just simply, how I picture it in my head, I think about a clock. So you know how you have, like, you know, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So for the 4-point rotation, I typically start from 3 o'clock. I go from 3 to 9, from 6 to 12, from 9 to 3, and then from 12 to 6, you know, from the roots. It'll make sense if you kind of look at the video, maybe down the line, maybe that'll make sense to you, how you go in from the roots to kind of retighten the roots up. Maybe that'll make sense. If not, y'all, I don't know what to tell you. Again, I am not the sister that does hair, but just a kind of little quick pointer in there about how I memorized, or how I learned how to do it. That's how I've been doing it, and it works for us. So I am not complaining. All right. I got the tool that I interlock with. I got that from my local beauty supply store. And yeah. All right, so now let's get into the meat of this video. I am going to be titling this The Power in Pivoting. All right, so yeah, we are going to rewind just a little bit. All right, so bear with me. We are going to rewind. If you guys do not know, I started my aesthetics program through my local community college in January of this year. prior to me starting school in January, I had been working my main work from home job that I've been at, for the past few years. I had been working that, my work from home job, and then I had picked up a second part-time job as well in April of last year, 2022. And I had picked up that second part-time job because I knew that I was anticipating, starting school. And because the program through my school, it was a full-time day program, I knew that I was going to have to let go of my main work from home job. So I picked up that second part-time job back in April. And I know y'all are probably like, well, why did you pick up that part-time job so early? Y'all, it was because I had originally applied to register for the fall semester of last year, but the slots filled up for that fall semester so quick that I didn't even really have a chance. And so I was a little discouraged about that when I found out that I didn't get into the fall semester. And let me tell y'all why I was discouraged. So if you don't know as well, this was not my first time attempting to take an aesthetics program or an aesthetics course. I had actually started an aesthetics program through a different school back in 2019, and I was doing so good. I was about halfway finished with that aesthetics program back in 2019 until life just started lifing, and I just made the decision to kind of just step back from it at that point. I didn't decide to give up. I just decided to step back, back in 2019. And then last year, 2022, was the first time that I seen that the local college, where I'm at, our local community college, they were offering like a zero tuition incentive. And the aesthetics program was one of the programs that were covered under that. So it was like a win-win. So when I saw that, I decided to hop on it. And yeah, so when I had originally applied for the fall, didn't get in, I was discouraged already, guys. I was so discouraged because I was like, what in the world? Is this not for me? What is going on? So I had applied for the fall semester, didn't get in, got discouraged, okay? And then I'm going to say fast forward a little bit to December of last year. I had put in my 2 weeks notice for, my work from home job. And I was anticipating once again to just kind of fall back on my secondary part-time job while I was in school. But let me tell y'all what happened. So I'm going to say probably mid-December, right before Christmas, the secondary job that I picked up that I was thinking in my head that I was going to fall back on, they hold like a team meeting one night. And like all of us that were working this particular shift, they basically said to us in so many words, thank you for your services. Y'all, they tell us that they were getting rid of the position. They thanked us for all of our hard work that we had put in. Mind you, I had been at this job since April. Okay, and the only reason I had picked up that job was because I knew that I was going to have to let go of my main job once school started, because my school hours and the work hours were going to conflict, with each other. So I knew that I was going to have to let go of my main source of income. So the only reason I had picked up that job was because I was going to fall back on it, while I was in school. Well, that did not happen because they let us go in so many words. So I went into the new year without a job, having to rely solely on my husband's income. I'm starting school. I was still a tad bit discouraged from not getting into the fall semester, but I was trying to just be optimistic, trying to be positive about everything, at the beginning of the year. So boom, we're now in January. I have officially started school and everything is going okay. Everything's going okay, y'all. When I say school was a blast, it was. Like, it really was. I met some amazing, I met some amazing ladies. I met a group of amazing ladies. And when I tell you that I feel like it was destined for us to all be together during that time, I really feel like it was destined. or me not getting into that fall semester, like it slowly started to like make sense. Like maybe it was a reason why I didn't get into that fall semester. You know, when I met this group of women, and when I tell you all of us meshed together so well, everyone had their own unique talents and capabilities within this group. Like everybody really like was in their own lane doing their own thing, and everybody just came together so well. It was so dope. It was so dope. But anyway, so I start school. I'm doing good with my grades and everything. And then I went into school with the open mind. And when I say open mind, I went into school thinking that I was gonna, when I graduated, that I was gonna be doing facials, that I was gonna be doing waxing and all of that. But I still had an open mind at the end of the day as well. And when I say open mind, I'm just in the aspect of, I went into it wanting to try out every little thing. Like I wanted to try out facials, I wanted to try out waxing, I wanted to try out lashes. I went into it just wanted to put my hand in every little thing so I could know what was going to be my specific niche that was for me, right? So I went into it, just trying out all types of different things. But one day when I was at home, I remember I was scrolling on Instagram, and on my Explore page, I came across a video of a girl, and I didn't know what it was called at that time. I just seen a girl with some string, and she was doing something to another person's eyebrows, and I was like, what is this? So I watched the video to the end, and when I tell you those eyebrows were fire. So then you know how the algorithm, on social media works. You click on one video, and then not long after that, your whole feed is full up of videos of that one particular thing. So after I seen that one video, I went down a rabbit hole of just looking at all types of brow videos, brow transformation videos, brow tint videos, brow mapping, brow shaping videos, just all types of videos like that, right? But yeah, y'all, I was so intrigued by these brow videos that I immediately ran to Amazon and started putting all types of things in my shopping cart. Y'all, I had mapping string, I ordered some brow tint from Amazon, some brow paste, just all types of stuff from Amazon, right? I ordered all this stuff, and then as soon as it got to the house, I pulled my baby girl to the side, and I was like, girl, Eden, let me practice this on you. So I laid her down on the couch. Y'all, I was practicing mapping her eyebrows out on the couch. I didn't tint her brows. I just, practiced mapping her brows out on the couch. Did that. Then the next day I practiced on myself, tinting my own eyebrows. And I ain't gonna lie, the tint that I got from Amazon, it was absolute trash. But my eyebrows still came out. It still came out okay, y'all. So then I go to school the next week, and I'm still just on this. I'm still just so intrigued with just the eyebrows, like just mapping them out, tinting them, just shaping them. I was just so intrigued by this. So I go to school the next week, and I was talking to some of the girls in my class, and I was asking them, if they knew of anyone that sold some good quality eyebrow tint. And one of the girls told me that she took a class from a girl local in our area, and when she took the class came with some tint that the girl had provided. So she told me that I could maybe reach out to her and see about, trying out some of her tint. And so that's what I did. And I know y'all probably are like, why am I talking about all of this? It'll make sense in just a little bit. Trust me. So I go on my Instagram, and let me just throw this in there as well. So while we were in school, it was like a graded assignment to create a portfolio. We could either, print out our work and like present it in like a binder type situation, or you could do like a PowerPoint, or you could create a social media page just dedicated to everything that you've done, while you're in school. I opted for the social media route. So I already had like my social media, like my business page created when I was in school, and I already had like a good bit of my work on my page. So I reached out to her from my business page, and let me pull up the messages. I'm not going to insert them because I know we're not going to do that. And again, you're probably like, why are you going in on this? Again, this will all make sense in just a little bit. All right. So I reached out to her, mind you. So just for purposes of the timeline, this is February when I reach out to her. I reach out to her in February and I say, hey, hope you're having a great Thursday. I'm looking at buying your brow tint. I asked her, is it well pigmented and does it stain the skin well? She responds back, of course, that she has some tint and some dye. The tint lasts. She tells me about how long, they both last and all of that. So we're basically just holding a conversation about her tint because I wanted to invest my money in some tint that actually, was well pigmented and that lasts. So she's telling me about her tint, of course, trying to sell her tint to me or whatever. And I basically tell her, thank you, for reaching back out to me. And I tell her that I'll come by her store and pick some up from her. And, yeah, so we're having this conversation, back and forth, about the tint. And then she asked me if I was still in school, which I responded back that I was. She asked me, if I was interested. She needed someone to train at her shop on tinting brows, micro shading, Brazilian waxes, and to work full-time under her, which to me, again, this was unwarranted. Like I hit her up for the sole purpose of purchasing some tint from her. So when she hits me up, within that same conversation, basically asking me if I wanted to train under her and work for her, that was right up my alley because it was during that time when I was in school. I already kind of had it mapped out in my mind. I knew that when I finished school, because I didn't have like the clientele lined up and everything like that, like I already had it in my head that I was going to work for someone after I graduated school. I had that already set in my head. I didn't, some people, they had it in their head that they were right after school, they were going to work for themselves. For me, no, I wanted to work up under somebody to gain some more experience, to, build up my clientele and all of that. So when she hit me up, when she, kind of made that proposition to me about working under her, again, that was right up my alley. So I tell her, that I was still in school, that I was going to be finished in May. But if that wasn't too far out, that I would love to train to work under her, to work full time. We actually had like a spa visit day coming up that following month in March. So I asked her if it was possible if I could shadow under her for that spa visit. And she, she tells me that I could shadow under her for the spa visit day. So, we're just chatting it up about that. And y'all, when I tell you I was so excited because I was like, dang, like I reached out to her to purchase some tint and she reaches out to me, tells me I can get the tint and prepositions me to work under her as well. What? Yeah, so I was excited when I seen that message, and I'm telling my husband, I'm like, yeah, I already got me a job lined up, but when I finish school, like I'm excited, right? Y'all. So, we're going to fast forward a little bit to March. I go to her, for my spa visit. We talk then. I ask her questions, about her shop, about her salon. I ask her questions, about how it would be like, working for her, things like that. She's answering all of my questions. Again, I am feeling pretty good about this, about me working for her after I finish school. Okay. So we're going to fast forward a little bit again. Now, mind you, this whole time, while I'm in school, I'm communicating with her. I'm hitting her up every couple of weeks just to kind of check in with her, like let her know that I'm still interested, that I was still in school, that I'm just still interested in working for her, right? Still doing all of this. All right. And then not to mention, because I forgot to add this as well. So this whole time while I'm in school, I'm messaging her about coming to work for her, when I'm out of school. Not to mention that there was actually a situation that happened around like the end of March as well within our family that kind of really, and I don't want to go too much into what happened at the end of March, but there was a situation that happened that kind of threatened me finishing school at this point. And when I tell you that it was already a struggle, because again, I was not working. My husband was the only one working. At that particular time, my dad had been staying with us. My dad, I'll go ahead. I'll just say this. My dad had been staying with us since 2018. Again, y'all, this is now 2023. So my dad was still living with us as well. We were going through just a lot within our family situation. And it just came to a point where me completing school became questionable. There was a series of events that happened. And I just remember praying to God, like, Lord, whatever you do, just let me complete it this time. Just let me complete school this time. Please, just let me complete it. But yeah, it got to a point where I was dealing with just a whole bunch of personal things as well. And, but I stuck through it. I did stick through it or whatever. And, you know, so boom, we're going to fast forward a little bit. Because again, I don't want to go into too much details about what was going on during that time, but just know that it was a lot going on. Okay. So we're going to fast forward a little bit to May. Now, again, mind you guys, ever since the conversation back in February, March, every couple of weeks I was communicating with the girl, you know, from the shop, which I forgot to mention as well. I did end up picking up the tent from her. Back in February, I picked up the tent from her, and I tried out the tent. You know, my sister, she was my first guinea pig that I tried out the tent on. And then I also tried the tent on a few girls from my class as well. And I think it was during that time that I started to understand that maybe brows is my niche. I actually enjoyed doing brows. That was the time that I got into brows per se. Okay. So yeah, again, fast forward. It is now May. We graduated from our aesthetics program the first week in May. And when I tell you guys, I was just so excited. I was excited because, again, it was questionable at one time if I was even going to complete the course. Okay. But I completed it, and yeah, now I'm just like, that was just a whole nother moment within itself to me. And it's my graduation day, and I'm just overwhelmed with emotions because I am just happy. It was a blessing to be at that point, to just have completed the course. And I was looking forward to, you know, to the next journey ahead of me. Okay. Not to mention, because I had secured, or I thought in my head that I had secured my spot working, you know, at this shop under the girl, I basically put all my eggs into that one basket. So while we were in school, you know, they tell you, while you're in school, go ahead and start sending your resume out, you know, to other companies that you may want to work for. Go ahead and start securing your job while you're in school, right? So because I thought in my head that I had been speaking back and forth with this girl, she, you know, lent out the opportunity to me that I could work under her. I basically did not reach out to any other company. I didn't reach out to anyone else. I basically just was relying solely on the strength of, I met her, you know, she reached out to me. She gave me the opportunity for that job, and I basically just was relying solely on that. So, yeah. So May comes, I graduate, and then like that following week, I reach out to her and I tell her that, you know, I have now graduated. I tell her that, again, I'm still interested in the position. You know, do you want to start talking about a start date? I tell her that I actually had some things kind of lined up in my personal life, schedule wise, right after school. But I told her like a date that I could come in and start working. And I'm basically just asking her if that would be fine as far as a start date on her end. She basically tells me that, y'all, she basically tells me in so many words that she is going to be moving, and I don't mean moving her shop to a different location. I mean, she tells me that she's going to be moving to a different city in a whole different state. She tells me that that her last day at her shop was going to be the last day of June. She tells me that if I want to come in and like just kind of shadow up under her until that point, that I can, but that she's basically up and moving. Mind you guys, I had been checking in with her for months, you know, letting her know that, hey, I'm still interested in the position, all of this. She didn't really give me any notice that her plans had changed. Again, all of my plans were contingent on the fact that I'm thinking I'm going to be working up under her, and then I get hit with the no ma'am, right? So again, because all of my eggs were in that basket, here I am, just graduated school. Guys, I am still not working at this point. We are still relying solely on my husband's income. And here I am, don't know what I'm going to do at this point, right? So when she tells me, you know, all of this, I basically I put on a face of understanding. One thing about me, and one thing that I have grown to do, I've grown to give people grace. You know, you never know what the next person is going through. So although her decision and her, in so many words, lack of communication kind of put me in a bad spot, I still try to extend that grace to her, you know, and understanding that, you know, things just kind of happen. But yeah, I was just in a place for sure at this point. I didn't know what I was going to do. So I go on Indeed. I start looking up all types of derm offices, waxing centers. I'm looking at all types of spas. I'm submitting my application and my resume left and right. Nobody is really hitting me back. So now I'm even more discouraged. Okay, this is now, for the sake of timeline purposes, again, this is still like May, June. On top of all of this, yes, I graduated school, but you know, after you graduate school, you still have to take your licensing exams. So on top of all of that stress of being uncertain about my career at this point, I'm having to study for my theory and my practical exams, all of that, right? So fast forward again to June. First part of June comes. I take my theory and my practical examinations for my license, pass those. So I have a little bit of excitement there, but I am still just in a period of time. I'm still in a period of uncertainty because I'm not really hearing back from any of the jobs that I was applying to or sending my resume out to. I wasn't hearing back from anybody. Still wasn't working. Like, I really just didn't know what I was going to do. At this point in time, I was really just I was starting to second guess myself. Like, is this really for me? Is this the path that I'm supposed to be on? Why is it that every time I get something going, something comes in and tries to knock me off course? Like, what is it? Is this not the path that I'm supposed to be on? Like, why is it? Like, what is really going on? So I'm really just in a slump at this point. I was really in a slump. And it wasn't until I made the attempt to do my baby girl's hair by myself. I'm telling you, when I did her hair by myself that time in June, and when I seen the outcome of that, it was like a light bulb just clicked in my head. A light bulb just clicked, and that's when it really just hit me that the sky is really the limit. The sky is really the limit. Sometimes you really have to just test your limits to see just how far you can fly, to see how far you can really go. Okay? I think it was at that point that I told myself, girl, quit sleeping on yourself. Anything that you put your mind to, you can really do. And that was something that I really seen. And when I tell you that it's been a wrap ever since, like, ever since then, I feel like I've just gotten so much more clarity in the direction of my life. I've just gotten a whole lot more clarity. Yeah, when I say that there really is power in pivoting, it really is just a power in pivoting. A lot of times you may have your mind set on one particular thing. You may think that you have the road mapped out of how to get to a certain place. But sometimes, or a lot of times, things are not going to go that one particular way. And you have to be able to navigate. And you have to be able to be okay with navigating and go in a different direction. And yeah, when I tell you, after I did her hair back in June, so many things just became so much more clear to me as far as the direction that I want my career to go in. It was really just a pivotal point in me just believing in myself to take a chance on me. And so yeah, I have a few things brewing. And this is not to bash anyone or to bash that particular person, you know, from that shop. This is not a video to bash that person. This video is just, again, me being transparent, and letting you guys know that a lot of times things might not go as planned, but don't let that discourage you. Do not let it discourage you. Pick your head up, put your chest out, and keep going. Keep pushing, because better days are coming. And as long as you can envision it in your mind, as long as you can see it in your mind, the mind is powerful. And that's one thing that I've learned as well. The mind is powerful. Keep those positive thoughts in your mind. Don't let the negativity, you know, sweep in and deter you. Don't let those thoughts have you second guessing yourself. Don't let those thoughts have you to don't believe in yourself. Don't do that, because that was me. I'm talking about, I was in a slump for months, just in a cloud. Didn't know where I was going, how I was going to get there. I didn't know what I wanted to do, what I was going to do. And I really let it just kind of take over me. Don't do that. Don't be like me. Don't do that. And I know it can be easy. It's easier said than done, but I'm telling you, that pivot, just pivot. I'm telling you, it's power in pivoting. It's power in pivoting. But yeah, that was pretty much it for this video, for this little mini story time. Just know that I do have a few things brewing. I will be showcasing some of that for you guys in these upcoming videos to come. But yeah. Alright, so yeah, this is the finished look. It took me about I think 3 days to complete her hair, but this was with a lot of breaks. I'm talking about, we took a lot of breaks, and I only did her hair for about 2 hours, up to 2 hours each day that I did her hair. So yeah. All right, y'all, so that is the end of this video. If it seemed like I was rambling, I apologize. But yeah, that was it, guys. Just embrace the pivot. The sky is the limit. Keep your head, keep your mind focused on the goal. Sometimes you may have to go a different direction to get to that goal, but it's okay. All right, again, don't forget to thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe to see our upcoming videos, okay? Until next time. Bye.
I got loyalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain.